Hello, landlords. So today we're talking about perfection and why in an appeal it's not such a great thing. So what is perfection when it comes to an appeal? So you've gone through the Justice Court, you've won your case. And so in your mind, it's over, except usually on the very last day, sometimes during the last hour, that tenant sneaks in an appeal. And so now the game changes a little bit. And so what does it mean for an appeal to be perfected? Well, generally speaking, that term kicks in once the appeal is set. So once you've got a valid appeal, it has perfected. And generally speaking, that happens upon the filing of a valid appeal. What happens to your judgment then? Well, once an appeal has perfected, that means your judgment is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. This is important because you want your judgment to stick. Sometimes you're just happy getting possession. And so you find that even though a tenant has appealed, before the appeal trial comes, they bolt, they're gone, and you're happy. The problem with letting the appeal just evaporate, essentially get dismissed, is that dismisses your original judgment too. And so technically there is no record of an eviction filed against this tenant. Now, you may not care about that. That may not bother you. But if you're convinced that you still have this valid judgment against your tenant because they appealed and perfected their appeal, that's not true. And so what do? Well, you've got two options, right? The first is just let it go. You don't care about it. It's not a big deal anymore. It's done. The second is to follow the case through to appeal. Because if you don't, it's gone. Remember, the original judgment upon perfection of the appeal evaporates. It disappears. It no longer exists. So once your appeal, or your tenant's appeal, has perfected, you either A, have to let it go, or B, you have to keep fighting. And that's the decision you have to make in every single case that gets appealed. Is it worth going into the appellate court or into the trial court on the county court level to get a new judgment or not? If it is, do it. If it's not, don't worry about it. But don't be convinced that the original judgment you won still exists. In every case, that original judgment, once the appeal perfects, that means once it's filed validly, it's gone. That's why on appeal, it makes no sense to talk about what happened in the Justice Court. That doesn't exist anymore. By virtue of the perfection of the appeal, it's as if you're back to square one. There is no judgment. There is no debt. There is no rightful order against this tenant. The slate has been wiped clean. Perfection only works for them. If you want a judgment, you're going to have to fight it on the next level. If you have any questions, let me know. Shoot me an email, give us a call or a text. But until next time, happy leasing.